can turn this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job. Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. Starting up a small business is hard for any artist, but there are even more barriers if you have an intellectual or developmental disability. Kristen Byrne found a Cedarburg business that proves anyone can be an entrepreneur.
If you're shopping for unique art, luxury bath products, and trendy fashions, Cedarburg Mercantile is the place to go.
So personally, I love the curly top tees, but beyond that, what I really have found that each piece of art that comes in here, each product that we have in the store, it really does tell its own story.
The Mercantile is the brainchild of Samantha Baer and Cindy Purnell. The profits from the store will support Blossom IDD, which aims to help individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So they've opened up space for people like Aiden Dow, who has autism, to sell their work. Aiden's the creator of these curly top tees.
It really gives people the opportunity and the ability to share what they have to offer.
And aside from developing their artistic talent, vendors get a chance to build their professional skills like marketing and communication.
It gives us a prime opportunity that we can create a safe environment for individuals who may get shut down in other areas like maker markets or big fairs.
Because they do get overlooked a lot.
Cindy knows that through raising her daughter Dakota. Dakota attended Bethesda College at Concordia University, a program designed for young people with disabilities. Samantha was a teacher there.
She stayed with us for the next couple of years, and my daughter now is living in Cedarburg in a home with 3 other roommates, and she is becoming very independent.
Cindy and Samantha's friendship helped create this business. They wanted to see other people find Dakota's success. And that means doing more than just giving vendors a place to sell.
We originally had wanted to do something that was employment-based.
Come in and learn different things and find what they really like to do, and we'll help them then hone in on those skills and help them to move out into the world so they can become more productive citizens for our community.
These women say they just want to help people grow.
Blossom, so to speak.
Very nice. And artists at Cedarburg Mercantile get paid for their sales at the end of every month. Samantha says a paycheck is something many of us take for granted. She wants her clients to feel that same success as any other small business owner. The Winter Olympics, believe it or not, are just a few short weeks away, and athletes all over the country are preparing, and there are a few right here in our own backyard. Jessica Maduker spoke to one of the youngest people competing for a spot on Team USA.
She's not attending school at Arrowhead High. She's training for the Olympic trials.
It's always been something that I've wanted to do since like 5 years old. I was telling my kindergarten teacher, you'll see me in the Olympics one day, but I hadn't even started skating yet.
Piper Yeti knew from the start. She's been skating here at the Pet National Ice Center since she was a child.
The West Dallas speed skating coach happened to be there one day and told me I should try out short track at the Pet.
And the rest is history.
Piper Yeti, a 16-year-old from here in Wisconsin.
Piper is the youngest athlete to be competing right now in the Olympic trials. So far, she's raced the 1,000 and 500 meter sprints.
There's some really fast skaters here. And I guess I just want to make sure I can be competitive within that big group.
Thankfully, her dad is allowed to watch her, but due to COVID protocols, a majority of her support system will be watching on TV.
My family, I wish they could have been here for this week because, we had a lot of people coming, but I'm just grateful for everybody who lets me experience this. And
they're hard practices, and there's a lot of pressure, but if you focus on just doing your best, competing hard, then it takes all the pressure off.
And for this teen, it's not about pressure, but rather the experience of it all.
I think just for the experience and gaining the confidence of competing at a high level is just good for being only 16.
Yes, amazing. And Piper will not be going to the Olympics next month. However, she is headed to Austria for the Junior World Championships. Very impressive for a young lady her age. Well, it's certainly not gardening season here in Wisconsin, but a new business in Milwaukee says anytime, any place can be a great place for growing. Steve Shamraz gives us a sneak peek of a futuristic farm.
Welcome to a world where it is 72 degrees and about 40% humidity all day, every day. A world that exists right in the middle of Milwaukee.
This is our salad mix, basil, sort of a crossbreed.
Chris Corkery is the founder of 100 Acre Farm, an indoor experiment in growing fresh food in inhospitable places. The roots of this new business planted in Milwaukee's Century City.
Century City, this warehouse in particular in the area, it seemed like the perfect fit for us to come in and, establish ourselves, and maybe one day this is our headquarters too.
Today, this place is proof Corkery's idea works. A hydroponic garden stacked 5 levels high, using light and nutrient-filled water to grow food all year long.
You have irrigation on one end, drainage on the other, a pitch for gravity, let nature do its work.
The salad greens and basil growing here on a cold January day started as seedlings in the farm's nursery. After about 10 days, they move into the heart of the farm and take off.
And that's really where things get beefed up, right? It's hyper efficient light, same conditions every day, the proper balance of CO2, heat, airflow, nutrients. All these things are working in favor for optimal plant growth, and that's why you're seeing about a 5-week turnaround.
That means a crop to harvest every week. Fresh greens for stores, restaurants, and food service companies across the city, and new jobs in the heart of Milwaukee.
The real goal here is back to the people. So we're not interested in having a farm that's run by machines or calling up a day labor a couple of days a week and then sending them home. We want to create sustainable careers in this space, and the only way that you can do that is to have full-time, meaningful engagement.
Very important and very cool. Now, Corkery says he could open 2 more farms just like the one you saw by the end of this year. He would actually like to have 5 operating across the city by the end of 2023. Well, National Bobblehead Day is in January, and it's something that is very special to all of us because some very famous Milwaukeeans celebrated that holiday in a big way. James Groves shows us 3 fabulous new additions to the Bobblehead Hall of Fame.
It's National Bobblehead Day today. Did you know Milwaukee is the home of the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum? Well, on this holiday, 3 Milwaukee icons are becoming immortalized. DJ Shauna, the Bucks DJ and Positively Milwaukee award winner, Ben Tynai, the Bucks national anthem singer who was a good luck charm during the playoffs, and Dan Roberts, who went viral for chugging a beer and ripping off his shirt at a Bucks playoff game. All of them are getting their very own bobblehead.
It's a source of pride, and hopefully we'll have many more Milwaukee-related bobbleheads to release going forward.
The Hall of Fame has about 30 non-athlete Wisconsin-inspired bobbleheads, like the Hodag from Rhinelander, Wisconsin's favorite comedian Charlie Barron's, and the famous Milverine. But I, TMJ4 reporter extraordinaire James Groves, still haven't made the cut. The Hall of Fame came up with about 200 new bobbleheads last year to add to the 7,000 that are on display, and a lot of research goes into making each one.
Something that we're always working on to make sure, the bobbleheads bobble well.
Which is also the most important part of the bobblehead. So congrats to the 3 Milwaukee icons who have been enshrined in the Hall of Fame. You are now forever part of bobblehead lore.
Now, the Bobblehead Hall of Fame is really such a unique resource, and we couldn't agree more with these newest bobblehead additions. What fun, and it's great to be honored as a bobblehead, let's face it. Well, winter is here. Stay tuned because after the break, you're going to hear some of our favorite ways to stay warm. Plus, we're going to show you a new Milwaukee business that's helping other businesses find success. But before we go, don't forget lunch with me every Wednesday at 12:30. I chat with someone who's doing good in the community, someone who inspires, people who are truly positively Milwaukee. Not long ago, I sat down with Brandy Iberia, president of Luminosity Media Group. She helps local businesses grow and succeed using her specialized approach to marketing and promotion. She's smart, successful, and a local business person that we can all look up to. Join us every Wednesday on Facebook Live so you can ask questions and hear from somebody who is positively Milwaukee. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. One of life's most important lessons is to get back up when you stumble. And that's what a Milwaukee woman can boast as she moves into some impressive digs with a mission to help owners of small businesses.
This will be a part of the actual marketplace.
The former Brooks Brothers store at Bayshore is being transformed thanks to the ingenuity of Shantina Gladney, president of Entrepreneurs Society.
This will become a bookstore.
It will become a spot where small businesses can come together under one roof.
It will be a collective marketplace of makers, of founders, of individuals that have their own businesses and they want to be able to work together instead of closing the doors of their business or trying to figure out how is it that I beat out the Amazons of the world, but also how is it that I'm able to connect with my community. We're doing it right here collectively.
The name, the collective marketplace and shared workspace.
Just to be able to have that type of energy here and for people to know that, you know what, we can do it together, and we can make sure that people are able to know that we are big business.
Gladney is taking on this effort despite being in treatment for stage 2 breast cancer.
Every single day, I know it's a gift. And so when I choose not to get out of the bed, I know that I'm not unwrapping that gift. So that's what I keep in the back of my mind.
Gladney has faced other challenges. In 2009, she and her husband were charged with wire fraud over missteps when they purchased a child care business.
You think you're going down that right path. You think that you're doing the right things, making the right decisions, and lo and behold, you're in the midst of something you thought you would never be in the midst of.
Gladney admits she's learned from that low period.
No matter what mistake that you may have, that has happened in your life, or no matter what it is that you feel as though that you may have failed on, if you choose not to give up, that's not failure.
Gladney, a professional coach, is also well known for being the brainchild behind My City, My Biz Expo, billed as the largest emerging business expo in Wisconsin. And in 2016, she was invited to the Forbes Coaching Council. Her community support and trust is solid.
We're starting it off with 30 vendors that will actually be a part of the marketplace.
Gladney is raising funds for her latest venture through her GoFundMe page.
No matter what story is out there, people will know the truth about who you are. That's for the key. And to never give up. Just never give up.
Shantina was the first licensed African-American auctioneer in the state of Wisconsin. She sits on several boards and has a passion for empowering youth.
I tell people all the time that my ceiling will be my granddaughter's floor.
Her advice to future business owners?
What you do is surround yourself with good people that have had business experiences. Find a trusted network that you can be able to have those advisors there. You cannot do it alone. And if it doesn't feel right in your spirit or your heart, don't do it.
And Shantina Gladney is a strong reminder that setbacks in life do not have to prevent us from moving forward.
Everything I find a silver linings. I tell people, stop pressing the snooze buttons on your dreams. No matter what's happening in your life today, tomorrow is a whole entirely new day.
Good advice. And Shantina is hoping one day to actually help women incarcerated because she believes there's too much untapped potential and that talent could be put to good use for society. Just ahead, we're going to show you a cozy getaway in Washington County designed to make nature more accessible. But first, let's meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week.
I'm Johanna with the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County, PAWS, and today I am joining you with my Positively Milwaukee friend, Martha. And I know Martha pretty well. Martha has been with us since April of last year, so April of 2021. I don't understand why she has been with us for so long. She is a really great dog. She doesn't get along with other dogs or cats, so she should be an only pet, but she can walk by them calmly because we've done a lot of work with her. She is super, super playful, enjoys her toys, and is an independent girl. So she is a little bit stubborn, but she does know several cues like sit, down, and she's just a really great dog. Martha is 4 years old. She can be around older children, and she's just a great girl. So if you are interested in finding out more about Martha or any of our other adoptable animals, you can go to pawspets.org and find a friend for you that is Positively Milwaukee.
Welcome back. Don't judge a book by its cover. A local maintenance technician is using the TikTok app to help break down stereotypes. Sarah McGrew talked to her about how she's doing it with screwdrivers and wrenches.
Mercury Stardust is a natural performer.
People told me, hey, Mercury, you should get on TikTok. It's a great way to develop a fan base for your online burlesque show.
One day she randomly responded to another TikTok user who didn't know how to use a ratchet strap.
And that took me from like 100 followers to 25,000 followers in less than 24 hours.
Now she has over 1.5 million followers here on the app and is known to most as the trans handyman.
Hey there, hi, my name is Mercury and I'm the trans handyman.
Her hundreds of videos share at-home maintenance tips and tricks.
You've never had to use a screwdriver before. How would you know the difference between a Phillips and a flathead? So we all have different backgrounds, and that can lead to us knowing different things.
Mercury was raised on a farm in northern Wisconsin.
When it came to like having a maintenance and a troubleshooting idea, I kind of got that from my family.
She says growing up, she presented as a boy, learning from her father, who hoped to give her the tools to become his ideal version of a man. But 3 years ago, Mercury transitioned and is now using her 14 years of maintenance knowledge to help her following, which is nearly 90% women.
They're taught early on that they're meant to do another set of things. Like their tools are cooking. We're pulling back the onion of oppression in a lot of ways, and we're letting people learn things in a way that's more of a compassionate-led education.
And Mercury says it's also important that her trans identity is front and center.
We can do these things. And if people who come to my page for the first time, if they can walk away with just a fraction of more knowledge than they had before, that's a win. And that's a good thing. And if they learn from someone who's openly trans and they think to themselves, well, that's pretty cool, that's even better.
That is true. And if you would like to learn some tips and tricks from Mercury, you can follow her on TikTok. We do have more information for you in our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. Washington County parks are trying to make the outdoors more accessible and more enjoyable. James Grow toured one of their new tiny cabins, which promises some impressive scenery.
We are currently in Glacier Hills County Park. This is one of our tiny cabins.
Glacier Hills is in Hubertus, and the cabins will soon be listed for rent on Airbnb.
One of our visions for this park is to be a kettle moraine destination.
They want to make Glacier Hills the place to visit in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The cabins can fit 2 to 4 people and are dog friendly.
The thing that I really love about these cabins is that it allows you to really soak in these views by spending a night and just enjoying nature.
These cabins are an addition to the 4 larger ones already built. So come late January, there will be a total of 9 cabins available to rent for $75 to $90 a night. The park staff said it really hopes this increases foot traffic.
This year in 2021, our park system went off the tax levy in Washington County, so we are a self-sustaining enterprise, and it's very important for us to generate our own income.
Now that all the money Washington County Parks gets comes from visitors and is not aided by property taxes, it's even more important these cabins appeal to as many people as possible.
It's just, a really glorified camping experience as opposed to a tent.
They are cute. Now, those new cabins will be available for rent starting this month, but you might want to wait till it's a little warmer out there. Well, this part of the year is what they call the dead of winter, and we have seen some cold temperatures that really fit that title. So we decided to ask you, what is the best way to stay warm in the winter?
Heated vest, because I walk everywhere.
Okay.
Hot hands, hat, gloves, and walk fast. That's what I do.
Layers, lots of layers. Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Try to stay outside as little as possible, and like Will said, layers always help.
I'm eating a acai bowl and avocado toast.
That keeps you warm.
That keeps me warm.
With fabulous cuts.
Coming and getting some warm food from the public market, that's for sure.
Well, I like to go inside of places that have like a heating system. And that's how I do it.
I work inside, and so it's perfectly fine. When you work inside, it's nice and toasty. I got a nice thick jacket on, but it's cold outside for sure.
I think you're talking to the wrong guy.
Really?
I don't even have a jacket. Oh, I live in Wisconsin for a reason.
There's always that one person who is not affected by the cold. And if you would like to share your favorite cozy pastime, or you have a question you'd like us to ask next week, head to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. We'd love to hear from you. People at the Milwaukee Public Market aren't the only ones trying to fight off the cold. Generac employees went above and beyond to make sure Waukesha residents are warm and toasty this season, and that is our first reason to smile. Those Generac employees collected more than 700 pieces of winter clothing: hats, mittens, boots, snow pants, and coats. They did a lot, and all of this was donated to students in the Waukesha School District. Many families there struggle financially and don't have the money to buy kids warm clothes. So you can see the students at Whittier Elementary were quite excited to get all their cozy new gear. What a great idea. Well, this last reason to smile is for people who like the cold. The River West People's Ice Rink. It's about ready for skaters. Now, this hidden gem is set up behind Cafe Corazon in Milwaukee it's been there for about 10 years. The project is 100% community supported and free to use. A community effort like this certainly warms your heart. I'll be back with my quote of the week. Don't go away. Kindness and consideration of somebody besides yourself keeps you feeling young. Our quote this week comes from the late, great Betty White. Betty White, as you know, died New Year's Eve, just weeks from her 100th birthday, which is tomorrow. Betty White's life was mirrored by her long career. She spent 80 years working on the screen, and during that time she advocated for LGBTQ rights and opposed racial inequality. She was a huge animal lover. Her passion was making sure that they were all well cared for. And if Betty White's long life is any evidence that being good and kind could help you live a long time, hopefully we can all follow Betty's example. And as always, stay positively Milwaukee.